Hello and welcome everyone in class 7. This is the second part of this chapter 4, that is heat and temperature. In this chapter, the leftover contents are modes of transfer of heat, that is conduction, convection and radiation. Convection current, sea breeze and land breeze, application of convection, radiation of heat, application of radiation, thermos flask or vacuum flask. Modes of transfer of heat. There are three modes of transfer of heat, that is conduction of heat, convection of heat and radiation of heat. In conduction of heat, it occurs in solids, whereas in convection of heat, it occurs in liquids and gases. Whereas in radiation of heat, it occurs in all mediums and through vacuum. Conduction of heat. In the last video, you are very familiar with the topic conduction of heat. So let's recall it. The process of transferring of heat from the hotter end to the colder end of the object is conduction of heat. This concept will be more clear with the help of an example. Whenever a utensil is kept on flame, it burns hot and the heat travels from the base of the utensil to its handle. So, conduction occurs when there is physical contact between two solids. Convection of heat. So, what do you mean by convection of heat? The process of transfer of heat in liquids and gases is called convection of heat. This will be more clear with the help of an example. In water, the liquid near the source of heat gets heated first, then they become lighter due to heat and move upward. The cold water from the sides move downwards towards the source of the heat. This process continues till the whole water gets heated. How does the convection occurs in gases? In the left side of the image, a hand is placed at the top of the candle flame. The air gets heated by the convection. The hand above the flame feels hot. On the other side of the image, there is no convection and the hands are placed on the sides of the candle. So, the air does not feel as hot as at the top of the candle. Applications of convection. Some of these applications are: a room heater is kept on the floor of a room. The heat from the heater increases the temperature of air near it. This hot air rises up and the cooler air from the other areas takes its place. An air conditioner is installed at a level higher than the floor of a room. The air conditioner releases cool air into the room. The air which is heavier, shrinks down, and the warmer air, which is lighter, rises up to take its place. This process continues and keeps the room cool. What do you mean by convection current? The process which involves the movement of energy from one place to another is convection of current. The best example of convection of current is sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze, the wind blowing from the sea towards the land, is called sea breeze. During the daytime, the land near the coastal areas gets heated due to the sun's radiation. The sea also gets heated, but it takes more time to get heated than the land. Hence, the air above the land gets heated faster than the air above the sea. The hot air from the land rises above as it is lighter, and the cool air from the sea, being heavier, takes its place. This results in sea breeze. Land breeze, the wind blowing from the land towards the sea, is called land breeze. Land breeze is just the opposite of sea breeze. During the night time, the land near the coastal areas gets cooled down faster than the sea. The air above the sea is hotter than the air above the land. So, the air above the sea rises, and the air from the land, being heavier, flows towards the sea. This results in land breeze. Radiation of heat. The process of transfer of heat in the form of waves is known as radiation of heat. We know that light can move from one place to another. It does not require medium. Similarly, the heat energy also transmitted as light. As contact required for conduction and convection, no contact is required for radiation. The best example of radiation is the sun's heat reaching the Earth's surface. This is a direct transfer of heat from one object to another without heating the air in between. So let's see some more examples of radiation, that is fire, heat lamps, sun. Applications of radiation. Some important applications of radiation in our daily life are: we wear white and light colored clothes which are more suitable in summer because they absorb very little amount of sun heat and thus keeps our body cool. Whereas dark colored clothes are more suitable in winter because they absorb most of the radiant heat of the sun and keeps us warm. Room heaters have polished reflectors at the back of the heating element so that they absorb very little amount of heat and reflect most of it. The base of a cooking utensil is painted black so that it absorbs more heat from the source and cooks food quickly. Vacuum or thermoflask. We all use thermoflask to keep things warm and cold. Parts of vacuum flask. It consists of a double-walled glass flask having vacuum between the walls kept inside a metallic case with cork supporters. The outer and inner surface of the glass flask are highly silvered. The mouth of the flask is fitted with airtight cork. The vacuum between the two walls of the flask prevent heat transfer by conduction or convection. The silver coating of the walls of the vessel reflect back heat radiation. Thus, heat by radiation can neither enter inside nor go outside of the flask. The airtight cork, which is a bad conductor of heat, prevents any loss of heat by conduction or convection. So, a thermoflask is used to store a variety of hot and cold food items such as tea, milk, coffee, juice, and water. So, here are few points to remember. The common scale used are Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. The formulas to convert the temperature from one scale to another are Celsius scale as well as for the Fahrenheit scale. The conditions necessary for conductions of heat are objects must be in solid state, objects are kept in contact with each other, there is temperature difference between the objects. Substances that allow heat to flow through them easily are called conductors of heat, whereas substances that do not allow heat to flow through them easily are called insulators of heat. Now students, open your science book and move to the page number 49, assessment 4. Question number A, question number B as well as question number C is your homework. Do it in your book itself. Now move to the D part, answer in few words. The first question is, what are the conditions required for conduction of heat to occur? The conditions necessary for conduction of heat are objects must be in solid state, objects are kept in contact with each other, there is a temperature difference between the objects. Question number 2. Why is a digital thermometer safer than a clinical thermometer? A digital thermometer does not contain mercury, which is toxic in nature. Hence, a digital thermometer is safer than a clinical thermometer. Now, move to the number 3. What is the difference between heat and temperature? Heat is the form of energy present in every object, while temperature is the measure of heat energy contained in every object. Question number 4. What is the difference between conductors and insulators of heat? Substances that allow heat to flow through them easily are called conductors of heat. Substances that do not allow heat to flow through them easily are called insulators of heat. Move to the question number 5. Give 3 applications of radiation of heat. Applications of radiations of heat. We wear light colored clothes in summer as they do not absorb much heat and keep us cool, while in winter we wear dark colored clothes as they absorb more heat and keep us warm. The clothes of firefighter are coated with layers of bright colored insulating material to reduce absorption of heat. The curved reflectors at the back of a room heater usually made of a shiny surface so that it reflects all the heat coming from the heater. Question number 6. Name the factors on which the amount of heat radiated or absorbed by an object depends. The amount of radiant heat absorbed or radiated by an object depends on its texture, color, temperature, and surface area. Question number E. Answer in details. First question. What is conduction? How does it occur? Move to the page number 43. Second paragraph. First line. Conduction of heat. Conduction is the mode of transfer of heat in which heat is transferred in an object from the hotter part to the colder part. Mark the diagram. You have to draw this diagram. Conduction occurs due to vibration of particles. Under that, mark the answer. The molecules of a solid are tightly packed. They are not free to move but can vibrate about their position. When one part of a solid is heated, the molecules present there gain heat and begin to vibrate faster. As they collide along their mean position with neighboring molecules and pass on energy to them, the neighboring molecules start vibrating in turn, transferring energy further. In this way, heat gets transferred from one part of the solid to the other part. Now move to the question number 2. How does a thermos flask minimize the flow of heat through various modes of transfer of heat? Draw a label diagram of a thermoflask. Move to the page number 47. Right hand side under the topic thermoflask. Second paragraph. A thermos flask consists of a double-walled glass container. There is a vacuum in the gap between the walls of the container to reduce transfer of heat due to convection or conduction. The inner and the outer walls of the container are made shiny to reduce transfer of heat due to radiation. The outer body and the lid of the container is made of an insulating material such as plastic, as well as mark this diagram of thermoflask. Move to the question number 3. Explain with the diagram the construction of a clinical thermometer. Move to the page number 41. Left hand side, Under the topic clinical thermometer, move to the third line. A clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube which has a glass bulb fitted with mercury at one end. The glass tube is sealed at the other end. Move to the third paragraph. A clinical thermometer has a slight bend called king in the glass tube just above the mercury bulb. The king prevents the mercury from flowing back quickly, enabling us to read the temperature accurately, as well as mark the diagram for clinical thermometer. Now move to the question number 4. List the precautions needed to be taken while using a thermometer. Move to the page number 42, left hand side at the top. Precautions to be taken while using a thermometer. First point is always wash a thermometer before and after use. Ensure that the level of mercury in the thermometer is the lowest possible. Do not hold a thermometer by the bulb. Hold a clinical thermometer horizontally while noting the reading. Never put a clinical thermometer in hot water as it may shatter. Now move to the question number 5. Give 3 applications of convection of heat. Move to the page number 45. Under the topic applications of convection, right hand side, first point is a room heater is kept on the floor of a room. The heat from the room heater increases the temperature of the air near it. This hot air rises up and cooler air from the other areas takes its place. Up to there, you have to mark. Then the second point is an air conditioner is installed at a level higher than the floor of a room. The air conditioner releases cool air into the room. This air, being heavier, shrinks wherever warm air below, being lighter, rises to take its place. Up to there you have to mark. Now move to the third point. An immersion rod is used to heat water. The immersion rod is fully submerged in water near the bottom of the vessel. The coil of the rod heats up the bottom layer of water. The hot water rises up and colder water from the top moves down. Thank you for watching this video. Till then, take care.